Well, let's talk about Lois Gibson. I wasn't able to download and find any videos that I could just upload to the channel, so it looks like I'm going to have to play some and comment. Sure, many of the people who follow my Delphi content are probably in love with unsolved mysteries, or they've seen it before in the past. I don't know, do they still have it around on Netflix and the streaming services? I'm sure they do. I haven't watched it in quite some time, but they have a segment with Lois Gibson.
One of the most important members of police investigation teams is a sketch artist. The ability to transform eyewitness descriptions from victims into lifelike portraits of suspects is an exceedingly rare talent. Among the nation's top sketch artists, one in particular stands out. The eerily accurate drawings of Lois Gibson of Humboldt, Texas, have resulted in the arrest of nearly 1,000 criminals. But Lois's story goes far beyond artistic talent. She has overcome great personal pain with immeasurable courage. For Lois was herself the victim of a vicious crime.
This is really easy. I do this with little bitty kids.
Little baby babies?
Yeah, 5-year-old.
Really?
Yeah.
Lois Gibson, a 51-year-old mother of 3, has been a police sketch artist for the last 20 years. Today she's going to use her astonishing skills to help Denise Barnett. Denise was recently a victim of a brutal sexual assault, and she needs Lois's help.
Now for the easy part, just relax. To be able to look through the eyes of the victim, I think you have to have a lot of empathy. You have to be in their shoes, and I've gotten real good at that, and I empathize greatly.
She eased my mind and said it was going to be easy and wouldn't be very long, and that she's done sketches with 4- and 5-year-old little children, and it kind of shocked me to see the actual face, that that's the guy.
Police hope that Lois's sketch will lead to the apprehension of Denise's assailant. If the past is any guide, the chances are good. Yet the drawing would not exist at all if Lois had not turned her own nightmare into a passionate desire for justice. The year was 1971, and 21-year-old Lois Gibson was living a life that seemed like a fairy tale. The striking brunette was riding a wave of success as a model in Los Angeles, and her acting career was starting to take off.
Is it for television or for film or what?
But on one quiet summer evening, a knock on the door would herald the end of Lois's dreams.
Well, the pay's good enough, I can go with that. Hey, listen, can I call you back as soon as at my door? Okay? All right, bye. Yeah, who is it?
A man, pretending to be Lois's neighbor, gained entry to her home.
Who are you?
Hey, doesn't really matter.
Wait, who are you?
Looks like you need a little company.
He immediately started choking me. He went to my throat and just almost snapped my head off.
The assailant sexually assaulted Lois and nearly strangled her to death before fleeing. The savage assault left Lois overwhelmed with shame.
I was so destroyed I couldn't even walk out of my apartment. And the idea that I would actually tell anybody was ridiculous. It was absurd. It was undoable. It was patently embarrassing. It was the most embarrassing, humiliating, painful thing I'd ever had happen to myself.
6 weeks later, an amazing coincidence set Lois on the long road to recovery.
I drove up this street that I didn't mean to drive up. And then when I got to the top of this winding hill, I looked on a balcony, and I saw the guy that attacked me.
I have no rights because you are taking them away.
And I started to scream, and then I realized his hands were behind his back, and he was cuffed.
Look at everybody. What are you looking at?
And I loved it. I was like, I got to see justice. And that's when I fell in love with what police do.
You don't have nothing on me. You're coming down on me.
Lois later learned from the police that the rapist was arrested for cocaine possession. She could still not bring herself to tell the authorities what the man did to her. But what happened that morning would change the direction of Lois's life forever. Following her attack, Lois Gibson moved to San Antonio, Texas, married and had a family. Lois continued to keep her agonizing memories to herself. Fortunately, she found an outlet that brought her some peace of mind: art. Using chalk, pastels, and charcoal, Lois began drawing portraits of her family.
On Saturday, I did 15 sketches in one day.
But something happened in 1980 that convinced Lois she could no longer hide from her past.
And I was over visiting my girlfriend, Diane Denton, and they came on the news talking about a dance instructor who had been raped in front of her 11 and 12-year-old students.
God, that's horrible.
How can anybody do something like that?
So I had these vicious feelings. I couldn't stand it. And then all of a sudden, in less than a second, it hit me. And I told her, Diane, I could draw that guy. That would help the cops catch him. And if they did, I knew in my mind, I didn't tell her, that would make me healed. That would heal up my bad feelings from my attack.
But Lois realized she needed to prove to herself and the police that she could draw someone solely from an eyewitness description. So her friend Diane went to a nearby gas station, looked at the attendant, then returned to describe the man to Lois.
And all of a sudden, I started reliving my attack, and I realized I needed to be able to do this really bad, and that it was going to kill me if I couldn't do it.
Lois fought back her fears and drew the picture. The two brought the sketch to the gas station and compared it with the attendant. It matched perfectly. After some initial skepticism, the Houston Police Department decided to give Lois a shot. The results were astounding. Her startlingly accurate drawings have helped capture suspects in 30% of the cases she's worked, an arrest rate unmatched by almost all other sketch artists.
The drawings that Lois has done in the past for us have proven to be extremely accurate. It is almost uncanny, the resemblance that the composite carries to the actual physical appearance of the individuals that we have arrested. Many times it has been the turning point in being able to find the individuals.
Lois's sketches are significantly different from the ones that you traditionally see. There's a three-dimensional depth there. I believe that Lois has the ability to connect somehow with the people she's working with. It's like Lois is seeing the suspect just the way the victim did.
Currently, Lois is working several cases for local police departments in Texas. One such case involves Jason Bulmer and his brother Philip. The two men were recently kidnapped from a mall in Humble, Texas. On February 25th, Jason and Philip Bulmer were shopping for bed sheets when they were approached by two well-dressed African-American males.
Gentlemen, excuse us. How you guys doing?
They seemed friendly enough, so we started talking to them. They started asking if we wanted to buy a computer. Started thinking about it. My girlfriend was asking me for a computer, so I was like, I don't know, I'll check it out, see what's up.
According to Philip and Jason, the men led them to a van in the mall's parking lot. But instead of a cheap computer, the brothers got a heart-stopping shock.
Get in the van! Get in the van! Get in the van! Get in the van right now!
At gunpoint, Jason was forced into the back seat of the van and Philip into the front. The kidnappers then headed for the freeway.
You boys got some money? You boys got something?
A lot of stuff goes through your mind when you're sitting there with a gun at you. How are you going to get out of the situation or what? That's basically the main thing that was in my head. How am I going to get out of this?
As the van approached 70 miles per hour, the brothers became convinced they were going to die. Both felt there was only one course of action.
Hey, where you going?
Others hit the freeway shoulder with devastating force. Phillips suffered cuts and asphalt burns from head to toe. Jason's collarbone was shattered and his leg severely fractured. Shortly after being released from the hospital, Jason Bulmer sat down for a session with Lois Gibson.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick out different eyes.
When I talked to Jason, he gave me the same spiel that every single witness gives me. Every single witness is positive they can't do the sketch. And I said, hey, it's not your problem. It's my problem. You just relax.
These eyebrows here.
What's the letter number underneath?
B111.
I tell the witnesses immediately that someone tried to kill me for fun, so I understand. And they always like hearing that. My attack has turned into a tool to relax my witnesses and help them get justice.
Police are seeking these two men in connection with the kidnapping and attempted robbery of Jason and Philip Bulmer. Authorities are also looking for a suspect in the assault on Denise Barnett. Denise was allegedly lured by this man to a remote field and raped. He is described as Hispanic, 5 feet 8 inches tall, and approximately 140 pounds.
There you have it. A little background story on Lois Gibson. Pretty incredible, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. God bless Lois Gibson. I wish she was still around. And I did a previous video kind of cruising around her website. So you can find that on my channel from like a week or so ago. But yeah, Lois Gibson, she was contacted either by Robert Ives or the FBI in April 2017 to look at pictures of Ron Logan, and she of course couldn't make a 100% identification, but she said there's a strong correlation, a strong resemblance between Bridge Guy and the physique of Ron Logan. And from what I was told by people, Rick Snay in particular, I believe, from what I recall, no one wanted to hear it. No one in Delphi wanted to hear it. And of course, you guys know all the story about that. So, all right, there you go. There's my segment on Lois Gibson.